Hello and welcome to Don't Bury the Lead. We recap WWE Smackdown every Saturday night, and tonight is Saturday night, and we're recapping Smackdown. My name's John Zindel. I'm joined by Dom Scarcella. Dom, we're having some technical difficulties, so we got no theme music tonight, but the show must go on. Dom, go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
It's an old school feel here at Don't Bury the Lead. Was it an old school feel at SmackDown this week? Let's find out, John. On that note, as we say, don't bury the lead. What's the top story from SmackDown for May 29th, 2026?
Dom, we don't ever bury the lead, and the lead is the main event. A lot of wrestling on the show, but no wrestling in the main event, as it's kind of the go-home show for the pay-per-view coming up on Sunday. And we have Gunther and Cody in a talking promo in the main event here. Nothing, I would say, too notable outside of the fact that Gunther guarantees that he's going to choke Cody out, just like he guaranteed against a variety of people, including John Cena. Gunther takes a shot at America. The Barcelona crowd loves it. Dom, what'd you think of this main event?
This is the kickoff of the summer tour of Europe. You mentioned Barcelona, Spain. This was an old school war of the words, no physicality. This was not a contract signing, so there wasn't a table and a contract and a folder and a pen and chairs. Nothing, no furniture got broken or thrown around. It was just two guys cutting promos on each other. I would have liked if maybe there was a stipulation that they couldn't touch each other before the match, just so there could be a reason why these guys are suddenly just looking at each other in the ring after they've each jumped each other in previous weeks. But, now that it's all coming to a head in 2 days, like a day and a half from when this airs, they're just kind of there taking shots at each other. You mentioned Gunther doing the name drops. I promised Bill Goldberg I'd retire him. I promised AJ Styles I'd retire him. I promised John Cena I'd retire him. When he's talking about you choke him out, make him tap, blah, blah, blah. And I promise you, I'm going to choke you out. So, it's some good stuff. Cody's a real pro at this talking segment.
Yes.
I am very glad at how far Gunther has come. Like, did you think he held his own in there with one of the best on the mic, Cody Rhodes?
Not for nothing, too. I think he did, and I think he's improved a lot on the mic, and I think he's good on the mic.
Yeah.
The thing with Gunther is his English is perfect.
It is, right?
There's no like, because oftentimes like the broken English, like it can work, but it's a limitation, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, if they can't speak English, it's rough to kind of get around that.
Mm-hmm.
But his English is perfect. He's his like promo does kind of represent the way that he wrestles too. There's a connection. He's not just a weird gimmicky, like it's not like a weird gimmick. It's just like I'm a wrestler and I'm kind of a little angsty, and he kind of makes like annoying excuses sometimes, and he's whiny, but it kind of makes sense and straightforward to kind of like it connects with the way that he is portrayed in the ring as well. Like it's not a surprise, like the way that he talks. Like with Brock Lesnar, sometimes it sounds like a little mouse when he talks. Like his voice is so high. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? But like Gunther, it all kind of matches up. I thought the promo was great. I loved him burying America too. That like gave me a chuckle.
It's a babyface move in Europe these days.
I in my notes I wrote Barcelona crowd loves it.
And
They were like,
for me, when he talks about, I wrestle, like his style in promo, you mentioned being the same style that he wrestles. He talks about he steps into this ring to do it for the great sport of professional wrestling. He wants it to matter in the ring. Like, we've been saying this for years. Like, isn't this babyface stuff? It is to us.
yeah.
Like a guy who respects pro wrestling and is really good at it. Like, yeah, great. That's the guy. That
It
how
is
is he the guy who
bizarre
got
that they've
booed?
it is right. It is bizarre that they've positioned him as a heel at times. Although I do think that his ring work has started to lean a little bit more toward heel. I think like the last match I saw him in, he was like running a lot.
Yeah.
And that was like, okay, he's doing the cheap heat like I am a heel because he's like
Yes.
running away is like the ultimate heel move, right? Um,
Yeah, playing the
but yeah,
coward, tricking a guy, taking shortcuts. Yeah, uh, it shows where the pro wrestling has gone though. Where if you're against the over flamboyance and you're just a really great wrestler who can who has the character down when you talk, it's like your position is, oh, I don't like this guy.
yeah. You know what? The other thing I was thinking, dumb, the whole time. Where the hell was this match in WrestleMania? This feels like a no-brainer from the way they build everything up. This should be WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This should have been Sunday night WrestleMania. If you would have had Cody versus Gunther Sunday night and Punk Roman Reigns Saturday, that could have saved WrestleMania. You know, from
with no celebrities, no Jelly Roll, no Pat McAfee.
Oh my gosh!
Just Cody Gunther.
Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking, what a missed opportunity. But I mean, we get it now, and I'm actually really looking forward to tomorrow. Who do you think wins this one, Cody versus Gunther?
I don't know, and I also don't know if they drag this out to become one of the main events of SummerSlam. This is the first two-night SummerSlam coming up in a couple of months, early August. So I wonder if whatever this is going to be, we may see the blow-off of Brock Lesnar, Obafemi, and then we might see Cody Gunther again at SummerSlam. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun match. I won't be able to watch it live. It starts early for us because it's a live show in Europe. And I won't catch it when it starts early Sunday afternoon. I'll have to catch the replay. But yeah, I am interested to see what they do. Looks like we've got somebody teasing us there.
Garrett Light. Poor Logan Paul. Couldn't have happened to a better guy, right?
Hey, some of us admire Logan Paul as the song goes.
This is true. This is true. Dom, you kind of turned heel on us last show, and you were admiring Logan Paul because you don't know anything about him outside of pro wrestling.
So you're just like,
song.
Yeah, I think... I saw the song and I'm like, yeah, this is catchy. We admire Logan Paul.
We admire Logan Paul. He's yeah. It is kind of it is still a bummer because he's had a good run in WWE.
Yes.
And I liked what he was doing with the tag stuff. We talked about that the last show. It'd be nice to have a good tag team, and they looks like they had one with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Like if they had carried that for a while, but snake bitten. What can we say?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that more in Cheap Heat. But there's a lot going on there. But yes, I mean, Logan Paul, more stuff to talk about. So,
Dom, we got a lot of wrestling to talk about too, because
right?
I think there was a good amount of matches here on SmackDown.
6 matches.
I'm going to pick one based off of what we seem to like.
Okay.
So 2 of our favorites faced off. We had Nia Jax versus Chelsea Green. 2 favorites of Don't Bury the Lead, by the way. And Chelsea Green picks up the win. Tiffany Stratton comes down to interfere, causes the interference, and Chelsea Green picks up the win after what felt like a 6 month losing streak for her. For whatever reason, they just don't give her wins, you know. But she picks up a win here against Nia Jax. Big win for her. Tom, what'd you think of this matchup?
Well, they've been looking for something for Chelsea Green to do since they future endeavored Alba Fire. So for weeks,
Oh,
they've
right.
been trying to have Chelsea kiss up to Tiffany Stratton as if, hey, we can help each other. And Tiffany Stratton's been saying, no, I don't need you. Go away. No, thank you. I'm the U.S. champ, women's U.S. champ. I don't need you. No, no, no. So in this match here, uh, the previous week, Tiffany Stratton beat Lash Legend when Chelsea Green helped Tiffany Stratton on the outside. So this week it was Nia Jax versus Chelsea Green. Lash Legend is at ringside. Lash Legend winds up interfering. This is also Chelsea Green wrestling with the crowd behind her because Nia Jax is clearly the heel. She's so good at being a heel. This is the first time in a long time we've seen Chelsea positioned as a possible babyface. And it's a fun match. Nia beats the crap out of Chelsea because Nia is much bigger than Chelsea.
Hmm.
Eventually, yeah, Tiffany Stratton's music hits as Nia Jax drags Chelsea Green over to the corner to set up the Annihilator. Tiffany Stratton's music. Now Nia's looking around, telling Lash Legend, watch her, you got her, you got her. So now Lash Legend jumps up on the apron and starts looking around. That distracts the ref, who now goes to run over to Lash Legend. Hey, you can't be on here. You got to get out of here. Tiffany Stratton from the crowd side, referee's blind side, cracks Nia Jax in the head with the championship belt. Nia falls to the mat. Chelsea had rolled out of the way. And now as the ref turns around, Chelsea, and the camera's right on her, Chelsea realized she doesn't know Tiffany Stratton hit Nia Jax, but she sees Nia Jax just knocked out. And she's looking around and she gets what happened and just covers Nia. 1, 2, 3. So, you know, Chelsea Green gets the heel win as a babyface against the big monster heel. Fun little match. Yes, we both like Nia Jax and Chelsea Green. This is an ongoing feud that has layers to it. I like where it goes.
Yeah. Um, I do have to say, we both like them. I thought the match was solid.
Yes.
I like the contrast in the styles. Specifically, good big man stuff from
Mhm.
Naya, for lack of a better term. Big woman
Mhm.
stuff, but and then good, quick, smart stuff from Chelsea Green, like where she has to be like kind of think on her feet and get around the bigger competitor
Mhm.
and do some high flying stuff. So she's so versatile, Chelsea, that I think she could do pretty much anything. So she can play like the little guy, right?
Yes. Against
Um,
Nia, yes.
both great selling to the crowd.
Mhm.
Nia mocks Chelsea Green when she's out there, does the salute.
Yes.
Chelsea always really intact with the crowd. Like they both get it from a they both are loaded with charisma,
Yes.
right? Like that's they if nothing at all, they both have charisma.
Yeah,
And
Chelsea's
then
always had that as far as I can tell. Nia developed it later and it's been very good for her.
yeah. Um and then also I think that Tiffany Stratton is an interesting wrinkle because I do think that Tiffany needs something,
Mhm.
right? It just seems like she's just been the US. I mean, like she was the champ and then she dropped the belt and she had a decent run. I mean, she's really young,
Mhm.
right? So she had a decent run with the belt. I don't think it was anything great. She dropped it pretty quick. Like she dropped it in a so-so match and I think she's had some moments there where it was like you could see she's a little green, right? But I think at this point with the US title, she's pretty strong with the US title. Um from a performance standpoint, like she's a good person to have the US title. And now maybe she can get a little bit more intertwined with Nia Jax and Chelsea Green, who are both great characters, right?
Yes, and I do think that maybe the U.S. title, now that they've created it, maybe that's more Tiffany Stratton's speed for the moment
Yeah.
because she's not a great promo.
Yeah. She got the charisma. But
She
yes,
has the in-ring
the
charisma because she's a high flyer, tremendous athlete, but she's not a
mhm.
great promo, and it's she, you really do need that to be top of the list, A level.
The only promo that really comes to mind is with Charlotte
Yeah,
when they just started saying really mean things in real life about each
yeah, they
other, and
went
I was
off
like,
script.
"What's going on?"
Yeah, like
And they went off script.
yeah, they didn't know what to do.
There was like, "Wait, what? What are you saying?" You're like talking about her divorce that's
Yeah,
ongoing, and like, but that wasn't something that was discussed. And I was like, "What?"
yeah. It's like you're breaking news because a lot of people who go to the wrestling shows don't like follow wrestling headlines.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, it's not. They're all not watching Cheap Heat,
Right.
right? But yeah, so maybe we can keep it moving because this one wasn't such a long match.
What about
Where do
10 minutes?
you
Had a
want to?
commercial break in there. Chelsea's still doing the Pledge of Allegiance to me shtick. Pledge your allegiance, even though she's not from the U.S., she's Canadian. She
The
no longer
Canadian?
has the U.S. title. She's not even on the continent anymore. She's across an enormous ocean. Like there's a big body of water. She's still doing the Pledge Allegiance stick. Um,
Mhm.
good to see. Also, good to see Chelsea Green had some sort of medical scare a couple of weeks ago. Good to see that it wasn't that big a deal and she's back wrestling.
Yeah.
So where to next? We had six
Maybe what
matches on this show. What do you like?
I'm gonna pick one that's kind of a surprising
Okay.
one. I think this was like the upset of the year. I wrote Royce Keys, aka Powerhouse Hobbs, and Damian Priest versus the MFTs, and the MFTs pick up the
Mm-hmm.
win. I was like, wow. I, I could not believe that they won this one, especially with Royce Keys being new. It seems like they always let Damian Priest win. Like he usually gets a lot of wins in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So the MFTs pick up the win. Dom, what'd you think of this match?
They've been teasing for a while that R-Truth is still not medically cleared to wrestle. So that's why he wasn't out there. So it was 3-on-2 from the outset because Solo Sikoa is on the outside for Tamatanga and Talatanga. Uh, it is not a championship match because Royce Keys is not one half of the tag team champions. That's Damian Priest and R-Truth. Uh, Towards the end of this match, though, Solo Sikoa gets involved as the referee is getting Royce Keys out of the ring. Solo spikes Damian Priest on the apron. That R-Truth can't take it anymore. He comes running down from backstage to confront Solo. They fight for a couple of seconds. Solo catches him with a strike to the throat. That brings Royce Keys to the floor to confront Solo. And as it looks like Solo's about to get punched by Royce Keys, Tamatanga stops Royce Keys from striking him. Meanwhile, in the ring, Damian Priest is a little groggy. Talatanga's a little groggy. Damian Priest is looking at what's happening on the floor. He finally turns around, walks right into a choke slam for the pinfall. So Talatanga gets the pinfall here with a choke slam. Um, Not a huge surprise. They've been teasing for a while that Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa go way back on the independent circuit. And
Hmm.
the question has been, how come whenever the MFTs are around, they're always jumping everybody except Royce Keys? So
Right.
does Damian Priest trust Royce Keys? Does Royce Keys trust Damian Priest? There was a moment early on in this match where after they send Talatanga over the top rope with a combined pick him up and toss him out like it's the Royal Rumble, they kind of look at each other and kind of nod like, okay, maybe I can trust you. But then towards the
Yeah.
end, Royce Keys goes to the outside and he doesn't just immediately attack Solo Sikoa. He gets in an argument with him. So they're still teasing that what's up with Royce Keys. Solo Sikoa has multiple times offered him a position in my family tree, which would just ruin the fact
Hmm.
that there's only 3 of them. Then it would be 4. And apparently in the modern WWE, you can't have that. Only factions are 3. Tag teams are 2, factions are 3. That's it. But so there's a lot of intrigue as to who's on whose side here. Pretty good match. Goes close to 10 minutes. Royce Keys, big guy, looks small compared to Talatonga, and frankly, even looks a little small compared to Damian Priest, who is tall and pretty well put together. So just
Yeah.
monsters in the ring there. You know Royce Keys better than I do. He was Powerhouse Hobbs in AEW, wasn't he?
Hmm.
What did you think of this match, the angles that they're running, and how Royce Keys looked? Because you mentioned him being new to WWE.
Yeah, I like the choke bomb he did. Like he does some. I mean, I know his name is Powerhouse Hobbs, but he does some powerhouse
Yeah.
moves like that are really good. The choke bomb looked good. Uh, I do feel like he's a little lost in the shuffle a bit with his start with WWE because he premiered in Saudi Arabia at Royal Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
and they just he premiered. But of course, it was like this really kind of lackluster premiere because it was at in Saudi Arabia, and then he they just kind of put him on the shelf. So I don't know what they're doing now. Why he would fill in for? I guess is he filling in for R-Truth as R-Truth is hurt, or I just don't know where they're headed here.
Yeah, R-Truth set this up as, Damian Priest, you need a partner, so I found you a partner. And he found Royce Keys. Royce Keys won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which takes place on WrestleMania
Ah,
Eve. So they did give him something to
mm-hmm.
do there.
Yeah.
So they're struggling to find out what to do with him. He also debuted, and then they didn't quite have something for him right away. And then a bunch of people got future endeavored right after WrestleMania. And so, or even like right before WrestleMania. And then the question was, okay, now that we're reshuffling a lot of moving parts, what do we do with them? I think this is pretty cool that they're teasing he having some sort of history with Solo Sikoa. I think they also teased that he had history with Jacob Fatu. So they're not
Ah,
presenting him as a rookie. They're presenting him as a
yeah.
well-seasoned veteran who's been around and is just new to WWE, which
Well, I
is
don't think they have much of
refreshing,
a
I think.
choice. Yeah, I don't think they have much of a choice because I think he's like 38, so he ain't no
Yeah.
rookie. So so like he's gotta go, and I think that's why he made the move to WWE. Because he was, I honestly think he had a pretty, I think thought he had a pretty good run in AEW,
Okay.
and and I think he just, I always like when guys take an opportunity and take a shot on themselves. So good for him for that. Um, I do have to say, um, you know, hoping he does well because I always like applaud when people take a shot,
Mm.
and I know that maybe it's also like an aspect of like when he left AEW, he left WWE for like less money, and I don't know that WWE knew he was coming, kind of thing. They were like, he just he took a pay cut to go to the WWE.
Wow. Okay.
So essentially, I think he knows that he's got like one more shot here, right? And I, in AEW, he was a good mid carder, but I think he probably wanted a little bit more. He never got that. He never had like the main event of any of the pay per views. He's always been the kind of like the TNT champ. Um, so yeah, hope he does well. I'm trying to get
I
his
wonder
age.
what would happen to him here in WWE because the top of the card is crowded.
Yeah.
Maybe he's here because he has
I'm
some
sorry.
real life friends from the business here in Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa.
I digress. It's the 38. He's 41 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, he can't be no he can't be a rookie at 41.
Right.
Um he's got well, I guess the new WWE he's a spring chicken for them, but no, 41, he probably got a couple years left. It's actually kind of making more sense in my brain now that I'm looking at his age and like he was in AEW for a very long time, which is, obviously it hasn't been around that long, but he probably figured, hey, I got like 2, 3, 4 years left. I might as well go try to jump to the Fed and see what I can't do.
Yeah, if you think you've hit a ceiling in one place and another place is willing to hire you for, I imagine if it was less money than AEW, it's probably he's still
It's still
well
pretty
paid.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's still getting paid. I mean, he's on the main roster, and I think the main roster there's a minimum that's like pretty nice. I think it's over like 200K, a
Okay.
year. So he's making good money.
Very good.
But anything else from this match?
Not really. A lot of power moves. Talatanga, the biggest, most powerful of them all, gets the pinfall.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving here. So I did Royce Keys and Damian Priest versus MFT. Let me pick one more, and then I'll kick it to you
Sure.
because I kind of like this. This match actually. I'll tell you what. This match actually doesn't surprise me that it was good, but I think a lot of people wouldn't have written this down as like something that would be a really good match. So Miz versus Axiom. And Miz is alone without his partner because his partner put on too much cologne or too much lotion
Okay, so
or
they're
something like
traveling
that.
internationally, and Kit Wilson apparently he brought way too much lotion in his carry-on or his suitcase, and so he got flagged at the airport for like, where what are you doing with all this lotion? This is suspicious.
And I'll tell you what, TSA, toxic.
Yes.
The TSA is toxic. Yeah, so we have Miz versus Axiom. I wonder what really did happen to Kit Wilson because I wonder if this was supposed to be a tag match.
He's European.
And
Like, this should be the
yeah,
easiest thing for him is to travel to Europe.
yeah.
Maybe it's just
So
a storyline angle thing to, as you said, get Miz and Axiom out there alone. Yes, like you said, this is a pretty good match. It goes a little over 10 minutes, so they gave him plenty of time. Axiom is from Spain, so hometown hero here. He's very athletic. Miz knows how to work with the high flyers. Good match. Miz goes to the top turnbuckle. The lights flicker. And the joke is that it must be Danhausen doing something, allowing Axiom to recover because the Miz, as he goes to the top turnbuckle and lights flicker, now he can't see what he's doing. Axiom recovers, scurries up the turnbuckle, hits a Spanish fly, and then what they're calling the golden ratio kick to the head for the pinfall. Like you said, good match. Axiom had a great match with Gunther on last year's European tour, where they let him come out and Gunther, beat him obviously, but Axiom made a really good showing for himself in Spain. So I'm not surprised that Axiom wrestled well. I'm also not surprised when The Miz does well. Like, he's a pro. The Miz is really a pro. He knows what he's doing.
And I'll tell you what, Miz looked good. There was a lot of good spots within this match too that I will kind of mention here. The lights going out. At first, I thought it was an accident because it was so brief, and I was like, "Oh, maybe the lights just went out." Like, it happens at shows, right? Sometimes, like, the lights just went. And then the second time, they really hammed it up. They were like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Like, the announce team really hammed it up. I was like, "Okay," and it happened again. I'm like, "Okay, this is a Danhausen thing." Which is weird because isn't that rivalry over with?
Apparently not. The Miz is still cursed. In fact, one of the jokes about it was because The Miz is from the Cleveland, Ohio area, Danhausen said, well, then I'm cursing the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they had a historic blown lead in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals and wound up losing to the Knicks. in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like the Cavs were all set to go to the NBA Finals. And so
Yeah.
like they're all asking, Danhausen, you cursed the Cavaliers and they blew a big lead and then wound up losing the series.
Yes, yes.
So
I like a couple other things here. Miz did the cartwheel. I thought that was kind of funny because like
right.
he's like, doing the high, he's doing all the high flying stuff, and he kind of mocks his style of wrestling.
Yep.
The DDT by Miz was good. I don't see that too often. And then I give a thumbs down to the Spanish Fly. That's one of my
Okay.
moves that's in my doghouse. I do not like the Spanish Fly, and I know everyone seems to like it, but no, it's not for me.
I do not like the Spanish Fly. I do not like it, Sam. Am I?
Yeah, right.
We're gonna
Uh,
rewrite Dr. Seuss for this one.
but I thought this one was good, and Axiom picks up the win. It's kind of cool to see Axiom get the win because you know, I don't really see them picking up too many wins. You know, often.
No, and the tag team division has been in shambles since the release of half of the MFTs and the Motor City Machine Guns. So it's been like, okay, what do we do? The Los Garza haven't been seen in a while.
Yeah, and
Tommaso
they were
Ciampa
good.
left, and Johnny Gargano's just catatonic backstage for 6 months now. So
Yeah, he's just laying there.
yes, so the
What is
men's
that
tag team
gimmick?
division on SmackDown, it's weak right now.
Yeah, it's really weak.
They released the entire Wyatt Six, who had held the belts pretty recently.
Right, right,
Like
right.
it's rough on the men's tag team division. So I guess while they're trying to do a reset and figure out what to do with that entire division.
I mean, we talked about it earlier too. It would have been great to have Logan Paul and Austin Theory actually be powerful champs and hop from show to show, you know. But
Yeah, if they unify the belts again like the Usos had done, that would have been fun. Like Nathan Frazier was down at NXT this past week, and then because they were just trying to find something for him to do. So he went there, then joined his partner Axiom on the European tour, and he was just there ringside at this one. He sort of gets involved when Miz makes the heel move that I'm done with this and starts to walk away, and Fraxium just stands on the ramp and won't let him make his way back up the ramp. It's like, no, 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 you got a match, get back in there. So Nathan Frazier's out there too. So yeah, let's see what they can do really for this entire tag division.
let's keep it moving.
Okay.
Where do you want to go next?
I want to go to a match that they put it together very hastily during the show, but once they announced it, I'm like, I bet this is going to be a secretly good match. Sami Zayn versus Matt Cardona. And I think it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I have a lot of notes for this one. This is a good match.
This was a fun match. I don't have many notes because as I'm watching, as it started, I'm like, I just want to see what these guys do. I just want to see them wrestle.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a spot fest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No.
Sammy winds up winning this thing. Matt Cardona hits his leaping leg lariat, that Rough Rider back from when he was Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Sammy gets his foot on the rope, though. Very shortly afterwards, Sammy turns the tables on him, hits an exploder suplex in the corner, then the haluva kick for the pinfall. What say you, since you had way more notes than I did here? I will say, despite not having a lot of notes, I enjoyed watching this match.
Yeah. Yeah, Sami Zayn picks up the win over Matt Cardona. Couple things here. I love the drop kick through the ropes by Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
This is the opposite of the dive. If we need to
Yep.
get out to the floor, just
Mm-hmm.
doing the drop kick through the ropes. Hello, it's
He does it. LA Knight does it.
I like both of those guys. I like both of them doing it because it's so much different than the dive. It's not as dangerous as we've seen, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not as played out.
Yep.
You know, it's just so played out.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, don't even get me Dom. Don't get me started. Don't get me started
Oh,
early.
it may happen a little later, but for now we're going to simmer it down. We're going to turn down the gas on the stove there.
Serenity now. Serenity now. Yeah. So, anyways, I like. Oh, so this is I kind of trashed the crowd here, but the crowd chanting "Get the tables" for like no reason, and this is like the European crowds, right? Like you get the best and the worst. Like you get a lot of energy from the European crowds, which is awesome. And
Mhm.
I like appreciate that about them. Then they just start chanting "Get the tables." I'm like, why? Why are you chanting this? And it's like, I don't know. It's like, do you
I
guys even know why you do your chants, or do you
yes.
just do them just to do them? You just chant to chant there, you know. They they do a little bit of like taking over the show, and you know it's not they're not going to get the tables for this. So why would you say get the tables?
Yeah,
I
it's
it
not
was
a tables match. It's not a tag match where one guy can go do that while the others wrestle.
It's not a weapons match. It's not a street fight of some sort, you know,
Yeah,
where eventually you expect the tables. No, it's just a normal match. So, um, I thought Matt Cardona looked pretty good.
he
And I
does.
know Sammy has a tendency to make everyone look awesome because he's great,
Mhm.
but Cardona looked good. This is probably the best I've seen him since he's come back. So,
He looked good in the match he got with LA Knight in the Who Wants to Lose to John Cena unless it's Gunther tournament.
right.
And he's been serviceable at whatever they use him for since then.
That was the best part of the Cena retirement tour was your play name for the tournament, which also was the correct name. Because
Right?
it was Gunther, and then he did win. Unless it's Gunther, then he's gonna win. But if it was Matt Cardona, guess what? Cardona's losing that match.
Yes.
Um,
So
there's
yeah,
this,
Matt Cardona does pretty well. He tried the leaping leg right twice earlier in the match and did not hit it. Sammy avoided it twice. The next time he countered it into the sit out power bomb. So they were teasing. You know, he keeps trying this move. It doesn't work until finally it works, and then they're just too close to the ropes, and Sammy gets his foot on the rope. So
it
good
it is,
build, good ring psychology, good match psychology as it went along. And yeah, I mean, Matt Cardone, he keeps himself in good shape.
yeah, he's jacked.
He knows what to do in there. He moves well for a man of his size.
And Cardona, he hit the double underhook power bomb, or I should say,
Yes.
the double underhook power bomb. That looked nasty.
Yes.
The way that Sammy hit, it wasn't like flat on his back. He kind of landed
No.
on the top of his shoulders, like almost neck area. So
Yes.
that's one that looked kind of nasty. But you know, Sammy always seems to just take a pounding, and I don't know. He just keeps going. So
Yeah, that bump was reminiscent of the old Razor's Edge when Razor Ramon used to follow the guy down
yeah,
to the ground.
mm-hmm,
And so you couldn't take the flat bump on your back.
mm.
You were really just like, okay, I'm taking a shoulder bump and I better tuck my head.
Yeah. I hope I don't hit the back of my neck,
Yeah.
or the back of my head. I do have to say one thing about the matchup with Matt Cardona's return. He's basically just returned as Zack Ryder in the same exact role that he was in years ago, which was a glorified enhancement talent. You know,
Yes.
he goes out, he loses the matches. He could be a Ricochet Memorial Award winner though, because
Yes.
you do need guys like that. But he
That's
is
why he came back to the WWE because he knew that he'd be in the running for a Don't Bury the Lead year end award.
we. I feel like because he's married to Chelsea Green and you know, he seems to have a good sense of humor about the whole wrestling thing. If
Yeah.
he'd be a wrestler that would accept the award and be like, "Oh, cool, I got this Ricochet
Yes.
Memorial Award."
And
Um, yeah. So,
you mentioned Chelsea Green. I mean, this has got to be an easier schedule for him than being on the Indies.
yeah.
And he gets to travel with his wife. They're both on SmackDown.
I mean, he's making way more money in WWE than the Indies.
Sure, and he still gets to promote all the stuff he does outside of wrestling. He's got his own media channels that involve wrestling memorabilia.
Yeah,
So this is great for him.
he wrestled in WWE for like 10 years, and then he left WWE. He was like, "Yeah, it was great. Like, I made a bunch of money." I was like, "Yeah, like he kind of lived the dream because he never was a top guy, but he hung around enough and wrestled in WWE for long enough that he can go do the indies and be like, yeah, I'm pretty paid, you know, like
Yeah,
he's done well for himself and to have them do another shot there with Chelsea Green kind of makes sense, and they do need good hands there. So, and Cardona is
Yeah,
definitely one. Um, Dom, we're talking Matt Cardona versus Sami Zayn. Uh, we still have a couple matches here. You want to
we do.
go?
One that ended in a DQ or a double countout, sorry. And the other one that kicked off the show featuring more wrestlers than were actually involved in the match. What one do you like?
Let's go Jade Cargill versus Alexa Bliss. And
All
Jade
right.
Cargill picks up the win in
Mm-hmm.
the opener against Alexa Bliss. Dom, what'd you think of this match?
Yeah, this match starts with Jade Cargill, Meechin, and B-Fab in the ring, really giving it to the crowd there in Spain.
Hmm.
These are, except for maybe Meechin, these are all wrestlers who are very young on the mic.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering if the crowd would really get to them. And for a while, Jade looked like she was playing into it well. Like they
Yeah.
started the Rhea chants, and instead of just bulldozing ahead with her scripted lines, she like looked around at the crowd, it's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna chant that at me," So it was good to see these guys with what looked like some ad libbing because of what the crowd reaction was like. And of course, you're the openers for the show. You don't really know what the crowd's going to be like because it's not like you sat there for an hour and a half and everybody else basically showed you. You're batting lead off.
Yeah. And I think that with the European crowd specifically, we saw this with like the Cena promos. You
Mm-hmm.
really have to have that give and take with them because they're going to be if you're in, whatever Bumble, Bumble Place, Connecticut, and there's like, the crowd's just not that hot, they're not that into it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go through your scripted promos. But like in the European crowds, they tend to be a little rowdy, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to like give and take. And I'd almost like prefer that as a performer, right? Like rather go in and ad lib a little bit, and Jade is able to do that.
Sure, especially since their whole purpose in going out there to speak was just to speak long enough for the music to hit and Rhea Ripley would come out. And then Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss would join them. At which point, Jade Cargill and Alexa Bliss got into more of the war of the words, just one on one there. Nick Aldis makes a match for right now. It's Jade Cargill, Alexa Bliss. At some point, Meechin grabs Alexa's legs while the ref argues with Jade Cargill, leading to a brawl between all of the outsiders. And they
Mm.
brawl back up the ramp to the back, and now it's just Jade and Alexa in the ring. Alexa kicks to drop Jade to a knee, then hits a DDT, then positions Jade for the top turnbuckle move, that twisting splash that she does. Jade gets the knees up. Jade hits her leaping pump kick, then the jaded sit out face plant for the pinfall. Post match, Jade gets a chair, brings it into the ring, and hits another jaded on the chair. At which point, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair come running back from the backstage area down to the ring. They chase Jade out of the ring, but it's too late to save Alexa Bliss.
Mhm.
So, pretty good match. Alexa Bliss continues to impress that she can wrestle a much bigger wrestler, and it's a good match. It's a good opener. She's exciting. The crowds like her. Jade looks pretty good in this match. She has improved little by little. Jade's getting there.
I was gonna mention that about Jade. I thought she looked good in the match, and it's no longer a total fear to watch her in a singles match. I think she's definitely has improved, and I'm glad to see it because we did some pretty harsh breakdowns early
Yeah.
on in her career, and I didn't want that to come off as like I'm not rooting against her, but
No, we
at,
never are.
yeah, so it's good to see her kind of come around. I think she's really got, and we saw this during the Bailey match. It was a dark match, but she's
Yep.
got a lot of charisma in the ring
Yes.
as a heel, and she is better suited as a heel. I feel like at this point in time,
Yes.
like
She's
she's got
she's well booked at this point, and it's as if creative found out what to do with her at the same time that she is showing us more in the ring.
yeah, for sure, and
So it's coming together. We're getting a convergence.
and I think Alexa Bliss is a good person to lose to her because she is like still kind of like she was a champ and all that, but she is so tiny. So
Yes.
like it does make sense. Like Jade is so much bigger than her, right? Like
Yeah.
let's be realistic here, folks.
Yeah, she had
Um,
a Alexa Bliss had a singles title back when the singles title wasn't quite as competitive as it is now.
yeah. Um, Dom, we got one more match.
We do.
We got
And it
Ricky.
was a match that I thought was going to be a contender for match of the night until it wound up in a no contest, a no finish, double count out.
Um,
Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints.
yeah, the promo before. It is amazing how over right now. Um, sorry, not Car. Oh boy, I'm blanking on his name. Not Little
Carmelo,
Yachty.
Trick Williams.
Trick Williams.
Yes.
It is amazing how over Trick Williams is right now,
Mm-hmm.
and Lil Yachty is just. I just wrote in my notes, "Shut up, Little Yachty."
Yes.
I'm like, he's not helping. It's weird. It's weird to have a manager hurting the performer that needs to talk.
Yes.
Usually, you would have the manager because the guy can't talk. Trick Williams is great. He's he's way over on the mic. He's got all the sayings. He got the lemon pepper stepper. He's got
Yes.
all the Rick. He's got the Ric Flair isms that you want, and the crowd loves him. And then Little Yanni just says something stupid, and you're like, okay. I mean, I could hold the mic and say like two dumb lines like he does, and yeah,
I'm
so
wondering what Little Yachty's purpose is.
I don't know why he's there. He's only
He has
taking
less charisma than Trick Williams. He's
yeah,
worse on the mic than Trick Williams. He's
yeah.
not a wrestler, so he's worse at wrestling than Trick Williams.
Yes.
I don't hate Little Yachty. I just wonder why he's there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
what does he bring to the table?
the pairing is bad because Trick Williams does not need him, and it's only
No.
holding him down. And Trick Williams has star written all over him.
Yeah,
Like this
he's
guy is
real
too
good.
good. He shouldn't have to carry around Little Yachty. And Little Yachty, it does feel like if he wants to if he wants to try to be the manager and want to work himself into that role, give him a guy who can't talk. Give him a guy that's got nothing going on right now, and be like, "Hey, he's with Little Yachty," and then say, "Hey, Little Yachty, what can you do for this guy?" You know. But this pairing
Makes sense.
kind of bothers me. But end of the day, Trick Williams is great. He's way over. He's a great addition to the SmackDown roster.
Mhm.
So, what you maybe you can give us a little background on the Ricky Starks, Carmella Hayes, because I skipped this match, Dom.
Okay. Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes. Basically, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are having a little war of the words out there, saying that Carmelo Hayes is coming for Trick Williams' belt at some point. They had a big feud in NXT. That brings out Ricky Saints because they've got a match, and Ricky Saints like, whoa, don't be thinking that you're just going to beat me and walk into a match with Trick Williams. I'm going to beat you. So all three of these guys are well positioned. They seem to have good chemistry together. I like Ricky Saints, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams individually, and I like what they do in combination. I think it's a good. I think it's a good pairing, or in this this instance, a good tripling up of these three younger to the main roster wrestlers. Eventually, they stop talking. Trick Williams and Little Yachty leave, and we get the match. And the match starts during what for us watching here was a commercial, but it goes into the 11, 12-minute range. It's a pretty darn good match until they're fighting on the floor, and the ref keeps the count going, and it's a double count out. Neither guy makes it back into the ring. So this feud is not over. Good match. The only part I didn't like was at one point they have a slap fight. And I'm like, come on. Really? No, we don't need a slap fight. Maybe one guy slaps the other. Like Ricky Saints slaps Carmelo Hayes as kind of an insult kind of slap. And then maybe you leave it there. Maybe Carmelo Hayes gets one shot back at him. But we don't need the two guys after that going back and forth, slap, 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 slap. Like, what are you doing? Come on. I do like Ricky Saints does the rope walk uh, while he's got the wrist lock on Carmelo Hayes. Hits him with a strike as he jumps off the top rope there, then into a scoop slam. Then he drops the knee and then into a headlock. I like that combination, finishing up with the headlock, with a wear down move. I like that. You don't see that a lot, but I saw it here and I was like, oh, that is worth remembering. Other things I enjoyed. They fight on the turnbuckles. Carmelo Hayes pushes Ricky Starks to the mat, but Ricky gets his knees up on the top turnbuckle splash, and then Ricky Starks with the bridging. See, now I'm even calling Ricky Starks because I remember him from the NWA days. He does the bridging suplex for a 2 count. Very good. Carmelo Hayes also hits that. He leaps up and then does the spin around and then bulldog, which Joe Tessitore keeps calling the Dirty Diana. I don't know what that. I know Dirty Diana is a Michael Jackson song from decades ago. Other than that, I don't know why that move is called that. I don't know if that's supposed to resemble a Michael Jackson dance move. Anyway, it's an impressive move. So I like these two wrestlers. I think they're well matched with each other. They're very similar wrestlers, but they're not carbon copies of each other. So a fun match to watch. And yeah, until it ended in a double countout, I was wondering if this was match of the night.
Dom, what do you think about Ricky Starks? Because this is your probably first time really seeing him, right?
No, and I was just telling people I started calling Ricky Starks because I remember him, Ricky Starks from the NWA.
Oh! I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Okay.
Back in the NWA days, I remember Ricky Starks, who's now Ricky Saints. I remember Eli Drake, who's now LA Knight. I remember Nick Aldis, who's now Nick Aldis.
Okay, so
yeah. So I saw him there. He was a good younger wrestler there. He wasn't a top card guy, but he was in position for, I think, the NWA TV title for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I know he then moved to AEW where he found some success.
Yeah.
And then came over to NXT where he was doing really well. And now he's up here on the main roster. I like him. I like Carmelo Hayes. I like Trick Williams. I like them individually. I like the combination of any two of them or all three of them. They have good chemistry. They bring kind of a brashness with them, and they are playing up that each of them has a history with the others through NXT.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen Ricky Saints back when he was Ricky Starks or Sparks or what. I'm now forgetting. I just know it wasn't Ricky Saints. I remember when they named him Ricky Saints, I went, what?
Yeah, it's Ricky Starks. Yeah, but interesting.
Good wrestler. Looks good. Good athlete. Knows what he's doing. Good mid to small sized wrestler in the WWE, since the WWE does have a lot of giants.
True. But I guess it's a little bit different these days, right? Like I think a lot of smaller guys can get over. Like Sami Zayn is not the most jacked dude. Even Cody Rhodes, he's very athletic, but he's not the biggest muscle man on the planet.
No, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels showed that you could do this.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those guys definitely did. All right, Dom. Anything else from this show? I think that's the last match, correct?
That's we did our 6 matches. We got let's see here. Backstage interview with Brie Bella and Paige, who are the women's tag team champions, interrupted by JC Jane's crew. So again, the women's division for tag teams looks really strong, as it has looked for a while. I also wrote down at one point they showed a recorded video package for Blake Monroe, and I wrote down recorded video with Blake Monroe sounding like Tony Storm.
Right. They
take your tits and get in the ring.
That's what she said?
No, she didn't say that. That's just a Tony Storm thing. I know. But like
um,
she's out there talking. It tells you she's doing the like Australian British accent, and I'm
yes.
going, "This is Tony Storm."
She, um, it is
She was
funny.
aligned with Tony Storm in the AW, wasn't she?
Yes, it feels like she went to NXT, and they're like, "Oh, can you do like the Tony Storm thing so we can have our own Tony Storm thing so she
Yeah.
could be like the fabulous Mariah May?" Like she's just like doing that gimmick, which is weird. I do have to say with Mariah May, you got to be a little careful with her because the big reason I think she left AEW, well, two reasons. Her dream was always to wrestle in WWE, so she left AEW to go to WWE, and I know she took a big pay cut for that, which was
Hmm.
like Kevin Nash went on a rant because he's like, "You got to take the money. What are you nuts? Like you gotta go with the company that's going to pay you more money. Like you shouldn't take a pay cut." Um, and then but she always wanted like her dream was to always wrestle with WWE. So
Okay.
the other thing is when she locked horns with Tony Storm, she always kind of played second fiddle to Tony Storm. So she has to be careful when she comes in. I think she has to be her own person because she wouldn't want to play second fiddle again. Like when she left, it was like, well, who cares? They have Tony Storm. Like I was like, all right, Mariah May left, like no big deal.
They seem to be positioning her not as part of a team or a faction, just it's her.
Yeah, yeah, we'll
So
have to see.
that may be what she needs to.
Oh, we got a chat here.
Oh, very good. Wherever you are watching, thank you for the live chats if you like him. Oh, it's the Fixer.
Fixer. Morning, Dom and John. Sorry I'm late. No, all good. Listen, we're here for a while, so
We're a little early.
yes. And we're also a bit early. And also we're doing it on Saturday night, which is a rarity. We followed the normal order that we set before.
Yes. So yeah,
Uh
well, a little different look this week. We've got some technical changeovers going on. So, but it's us.
yes, it's
It's
still
the
us.
same John. It's the same me. It's the same banter, the same extremely insightful wrestling analysis that you have all come to expect here from Don't Bury the Lead.
As I whine and complain about Little Yachty.
Yeah.
if that's what you're looking for, you got it. Um, yeah, let us know if you want to chime in. I see a couple people on TikTok. So TikTok 6'7", baby. If you guys want to mention anything in the chat, I have you in a separate box here, and I can read your chat. So please let us
Very
know.
good. Many
Um,
ways to participate, many streaming platforms to participate. However, the archive where all these shows get saved for forever in perpetuity is over on YouTube. Wherever you are enjoying the show tonight on the live stream, head on over to YouTube, search for Don't Bury the Lead, a wrestling channel. That's us. There we are. Subscribe. Help us climb the next mountain. You also get access to all the archived live streams there, plus the edited videos, John, that you make and the hashtag shorts, the under 60-second snippets there from the show. You can like the videos that you like. You can jump in, leave comments, see the comments that other people are leaving there. We do sometimes interact with people in the comments the same way we interact live during the live stream with any chatters who are live with us. It's a good time. Don't bury the lead.
Dom, I love it. I love it. The Fixer Clash in Italy in what 12 hours or so? Yeah. Jump on board. I think it's about 12 hours. Well, yeah, maybe a
1
little longer
p.m.
than
our
that.
time Eastern here, so it's about 16 hours away.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens to that show. Fixer, we're talking about the main event of SmackDown was Cody versus Gunther. And we're having a tough time picking a winner,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Cody versus Gunther, I feel like it could go either way.
Mm.
It either is something they extend into SummerSlam, like Dom mentioned, and Cody drops it to Gunther there. I can see that happening. I could see him losing it in Italy because then you have your European champ, and I mean Gunther will be a face in Europe. I feel like, right? I don't
It
know.
could happen. It would be weird. because they do have to come
Yeah,
back to the U.S. eventually.
but like we said, Dom, he should be a face.
To us, he's
He
a
just wants
face.
to.
We cheer for Gunther.
Yeah. I've always cheered for him. He hasn't done anything to really make himself stick out as a heel.
Yeah.
So they could try to turn him in Europe, and then he's a champ and he's a face champ, and that would be great.
Wouldn't that be
I don't
fun
think
if
he
it
does
was a
anything.
double turn? Harkening
You could
back to
double
the
turn.
Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Double turn at
Yeah.
that
Well,
WrestleMania.
Cody kind of turned heel against Randy Orton. He was wrestling
They
heel,
teased
and he
it.
had the black. And they had the black trunks on instead of the regular blue, and then like he just went back to regular Cody. I don't know that WrestleMania, boy. There's just so much wrong with
Yeah.
it. Every time we do a show, I'm reminded by something stupid that happened in that WrestleMania.
Which is the opposite of what it should do for you.
It should be, yes. It should be, wow, that was a great show. It all culminated to that.
Yeah.
And
Or did you
I
that
think
new
Gunther
thing
could.
that happened that they started at WrestleMania, or that great thing that grew out of WrestleMania? Yeah.
Yes, it should be the best show of the year,
Yeah.
but it was the worst.
It was not.
I think I think Gunther could win in Clash in Italy, but lose it at SummerSlam. Ooh, so he wins it in Europe and then drops it in
And
SummerSlam.
then yeah, they trade the belt for a little rivalry like that. I could see it.
Yeah, then you could even push them into Mania next year. That would be great, actually.
Yeah, maybe the blow off happens at Mania 43 in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Unless they screw over the Saudis and bring it back to Las Vegas.
They are prone to do. Yeah, they just want
We
to do
want
it.
even
They would just
fewer
need to do
people
it
at
Vegas
next
again.
year's.
Right. We're going back to Vegas,
Well,
baby. That won't happen because there's too much blood money. Well, let's see here. I
We're
don't have the
still doing the
graphics tonight.
segments, right? Is it drive time? Are we still going to condense all of this data and compress it onto a simple device that we call a thumb that we got at the end of our hands there? We're going to give this show a thumbs up or a thumbs down. There are no ties. There are also no star ratings, no letter grades, no number grades. We're still giving this show pass or fail.
Tom, we're not Dave Meltzer.
We're still not Dave Meltzer.
We don't give 7 stars at the Tokyo Dome. We don't give 2 stars at the Liacouras Center. Actually, he probably gave that show 4 stars at the Liacouras Center because it's AEW. 2, 4. We don't do star ratings. We just say, was the show good? Or was the show bad? Was it worth watching? Or was it a WrestleMania? Dom, are you ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1. Oh, 2 thumbs up. Dom, why'd you give this show a thumbs up?
I had to get back into Smackdown mode and remember that, okay, it's not like a Saturday night's main event where you just see lots and lots of wrestling or a premium live event. It's back to weekly episodic television, so there's going to be breaks. You're going to see recorded vignettes. You're going to see backstage goofy stuff. And I was just like, okay, that's the show. I get it. I got enough wrestling, enough good wrestling in the ring that I enjoyed watching it, even though I'm still waiting, hoping that it goes back to 2 hours at some point.
I'm in the same boat. That's almost like the same feedback I have. So, like, I thought the show was good, and I gave it a thumbs up. There's, like, lots of good wrestling. But, man, oh, man, if this was a 2-hour show, I would say, like, that was a really good show.
Yeah, right?
If they cut a lot of that crap, you would have been like, because the 2 hours flew by.
Mhm.
But even when the 2 hours flew by, I'm like, well, I'm skipping a match because I'm not watching 3 hours of wrestling. And I skipped what was a good match. But I'm like, I'm just not watching 3 hours of wrestling. So when they do get down to 2, and if it was that style, I would say they have enough. They're really still extending it with the 3 hours. It's just too much. And there's just too much promos. You got Lil Yachty out there talking. I don't need to hear him talk. But it's a thumbs up for me.
This may be a case where not being on TV is good for them. From what I'm hearing, when they do Raw on Netflix, which is natively on Netflix, whereas SmackDown is natively still a broadcast TV show over cable, and then it gets distributed via Netflix to foreign customers. But
Hmm.
something that's native to Netflix, they don't have a set time that it has to go because there's no show following it on the channel's thing that you have to do. So they can go 2 hours, they can go 210, 220, 230, whatever they want. Like when the show's over, the show's over. They don't have to fill, they don't have to cram stuff. They can just kind of do what they wanted to do. And I wonder if that's going to be the future of it. Instead of having to say, okay, we have to write 3 hours or we have to get everything into 2 hours, it becomes this is what we want to present this week. Let's let it go. I mean, we're still going to time out things because we don't want, a squash match going 10 minutes. We don't want a match that's going to end in a double count out going 30 minutes. Like, just get it over with when it needs to go. But just more of let's just tell people what we want to tell them in a reasonable amount of time and not watch the clock all the time.
Yeah. We got this from the fixture.
Hey,
LOL. That made me laugh my ass off. I thank you. I think it was probably us ranting and raving earlier about WrestleMania and also AEW. He would give 4 stars.
yes.
Um, and then, well, I am not overly enthused by WWE at the moment. And I'm in the UK, and we get US ads for Arby's on Netflix, and we don't even have Arby's in the UK.
Oh, that's
Brilliant.
the worst part is that you don't have Arby's. I have I've
Yeah.
maybe been to an Arby's like once, maybe 20 years ago, but yeah, like Arby's, we have the meats. It's
We
almost
have the
become
meat, so
like
you
a
could.
joke around here, like Arby's. Oh, there's some new meat thing at Arby's.
Yes, Arby's is one of our bottom tier fast food joints.
I'm gonna give a shout
Uh,
out to another YouTuber here, Jeff Macalino. He does one of the things he does recurring on his channel. He hasn't done one in a while. It's called Drunk Jeff Eats. And it's typically him ordering something from DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever. And then, he's drunk in his house and he's eating it and giving you his review. And many of them are Arby's.
and he likes it.
Yes. And they're never going
That's
to hire him to do commercials because he gives them so much free pub anyway.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, he's got to work that. Boy,
Yeah, like, get Arby's to like sponsor you or something.
totally. Well, Dom, we just did the thumb drive, and it's starting to get warm out. We're starting to hit summer finally. I was walking outside today. Actually, it was kind of cold, but still, um, the summer's around the corner, so it's getting warm. Is it getting cheap?
Oh, it's always been cheap.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's cheap.
it's cheap heat. It's always cheap. Inflation does not affect cheap heat. It is still cheap.
Dom, we're talking cheap heat here. This is where we talk about AEW, WWE, other parts of the wrestling world. We talk about trending topics, and we usually take these trending topics and we condense them down into smaller video clips here, and that's kind of made the success of our channel. We'll make the smaller video clip, and then I'll create a couple shorts off of it. It's how we've gotten up to 1,250 subscribers. It's how we have gotten monetization on YouTube. So, and we are at 970,000 views. We're very close to 1,000,000. So that's going to be a big day. We're going to freak out when that happens. Dom, what's our first story?
Okay, this is a big one. Logan Paul,
Mm-hmm.
it is a real injury. The Vision continues to suffer problems. Seth Rollins dislocates his shoulder against Cody Rhodes. Bronson Reed with a huge injury, torn bicep. Braun Breaker with a hernia. Now Logan Paul tears his tricep. It happened at the very end of the Saturday night's main event that we recapped just a week ago. I did
Mm-hmm.
not know this happened at the time because the match was over. Here's a still frame. The match is practically over. Logan Paul has just hit Montez Ford with the brass knuckles and rolled him into the ring. Austin Theory is about to pin him. And here's Angelo Dawkins seeing Logan Paul on the floor. Here he is. He goes for that somersault dive of his. And Logan Paul, he's got to kind of move into Dawkins. And when he does, because Dawkins doesn't quite get the length that he needs getting out to Logan Paul. So now Logan Paul has to move in to try and break Angelo Dawkins' fall. And when Logan Paul and him hit the floor here, Logan Paul ruptures his tricep on his left arm. They could see him right afterwards grabbing his left arm. So this was not good. And at the end of it, as they're walking off, he's holding his left arm as they're celebrating. It is rough. He's going to be out, it looks like 6 months, I think they said. He wrote, they're telling me 6-month recovery, but I don't believe them. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with some drink prime shake. He's going to be out 6 months. I don't care how much of his own energy beverage he drinks. I don't care how many of the knockoff Lunchables he eats. I don't care how many of the crypto tokens he buys. He will be out several months.
You know, Dom, I don't ever root for people to get injuries, but
No.
he did steal a bunch of money from children. So although he's injured, and I don't root for people to get hurt. Friendly reminder, he stole a bunch of money from a bunch of little kids.
There you go. He showed pictures on his Instagram of what happened to him. There's the post-surgery scar there. They had to reattach his tricep near the elbow there. They sewed him all up, stitched him all up there. There he is on the operating table, was looking into the camera there. He's watching himself get hurt. There it was on this dive. He's grabbing for his left arm right after trying to break Angelo Dawkins' fall. Are these Pokemon cards? Is this a grown man? What's going on? That's the swelling from what happened to him pre-surgery. And then post-surgery, he's got his slings and everything. There it is. He should be back, but I'm not sure that a prescription heavy of Prime Energy drink will affect it in any serious way. That's what Logan Paul had to share with us.
Yeah.
What say you about what happened? I mean, this is really unfortunate. The match was over. There was no reason for this. John, what happened?
I have a lot to say.
Yes, you shared this with me. I did not go and find this. This was you sharing this with me. So what say you?
It's not a surprise that Logan is hurt. He had that wild botch, which was a short of ours, with Ricochet. He always seems to botch the slingshot lariat. He's really athletic, but I do think that he's still somehow like a little green, and he's very high risk, high reward. And I do mention that he's high risk, high reward. The dive is no longer high risk, high reward. It's high risk, low reward. The dive has to go away. We've seen Io Sky almost break her neck like a couple weeks ago. We see Logan Paul get injured on the dive. We see Top Dollar ruin his career on the dive. It's got to go away. It's got to be a move that just comes every now and then. No, it has been done and beaten into the ground, and at this point, it's no longer entertaining. It's no longer like this really cool move, and it's dangerous. And we've seen 2 bad injuries and 1 instance where a guy's career got ended. Not by injury, but by the fact that he botched it so bad that everyone laughed at him and he can no longer wrestle for WWE. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents on it. I do think that during the dive, it was a really awkward way that he had to handle it.
Yes.
And that's what really caused it. He could either try to catch him, but if he caught him where he's located at, Dom, the desk is right there. So it's not like he could catch him and fall. He'd have to catch him and fall back into the desk, which would be really rough.
Yes.
Or
Go ahead.
or he tried to go down with him, and then when he went down with him, it's never good when you land on your elbow or your arm. You want to have as much surface area as possible when you take a bump. So when you land on your elbow like that, his weight and your weight is all landing on just on that elbow. And that's not how you want to take a bump. A bump at the end of the day is you want to get as much surface area as possible of your body. That's why the back bump is always encouraged, because you could go bam. It's your full shoulders and back. You're not hitting your neck. That's why the back bump's perfect. But with this bump, he does like an elbow, like a front elbow bump, and it's just like not good.
No.
And
the way Angelo Dawkins does the dive, he does it kind of like a senton. So he does a somersault. He doesn't really dive at the guy. He just leaps over the top rope for a somersault. And then it's Logan Paul's. It's like an outfielder tracking a fly ball in baseball.
Yeah.
It's Logan Paul's responsibility to see him jump and try to get enough under him so that you break the diver's fall.
Yeah.
Which he seemed to do enough. Like Angelo Dawkins walked away from this fine. But in having to, because you could see like right here, Dawkins is not going to reach Logan Paul.
No.
This is not going to happen because Dawkins isn't like just flying through the air at Logan Paul. He's leaped over the ropes. Dawkins is about to tuck and somersault. He's going to come almost straight down from where he is now. So Logan Paul has to very quickly get under him enough to break his fall. And in doing so, that's the problem here. You could see Dawkins basically completes the somersault. Logan Paul got under him enough to slow him down on the descent. But here's Logan Paul's left arm. He's basically breaking his own fall face first with his hands and his forearms, and boom. That puts extra pressure on that tricep muscle. And
Dom,
that's where he got hurt.
I'll tell you what, man. I got some news for you. This is all because of the dive.
It's all because of the dive. And you can't even blame Logan Paul for this because he's not the one doing the move. It's his responsibility to do whatever he can to break Angelo Dawkins' fall. And he does it. So Logan Paul did what he was supposed to do here. You can quibble about, well, was Logan too far away at the start of the move because he was, hamming it up with the announce tables, but that's what he's supposed to do. He's a heel. And then he's supposed to kind of turn around and here's a dive. I just think this was a poorly planned spot, especially since all Angelo Dawkins had to do was slide out of the ring and get in a slugfest with Logan Paul.
Which would have been way better looking, too.
It would have been way better looking. It would have made a lot more sense. Because now Angelo Dawkins is taking himself out of the match. Like he sees his own partner lying flat on his back in the middle of the ring. And he's about to take himself out of the match.
This is a great point, too, actually, that we haven't brought up. Dawkins is a bigger person than Logan Paul as well. Dawkins is huge. So that's hard for him to catch him.
Yes.
He's a big boy,
yes.
So like, again, back to the dive. High risk, low reward.
Yeah.
High risk, low reward. I can't say it enough.
This is not a luchador diving onto Braun Strowman.
Yes. And you know what? Say what you will about Darby Allin, right? He's high risk, high reward. Because when he does his crazy high spots, guess what? They get replayed. They get tons of views on YouTube. People talk about him. He did a crazy spot on Collision, and he jumped off the top of something onto like a table, and it got a ton of views, and everyone was talking about it. And it's like, hey, high risk, high reward. That's actually, at least he's getting some credit for this. This move's dangerous, and nobody cares because everyone does it. So.
It's the end of the match. Everybody's looking at something else. They're looking in the ring. They're not even really looking at you. You're
Yeah.
doing a high
Well.
spot for something that's off to the side.
Hmm.
It just it didn't make a lot of sense, and it ended badly. Had Logan Paul not gotten hurt here, we would just been like, we would have just forgotten about it because it was such a forgettable move.
It was so forgettable that I wouldn't have even remembered. You would have been like, "Do you remember when Angelo Dawkins dove on Logan Paul?" And we watched the match. We talked
Yes.
about it. I would be like, "No, I have no idea when that happened."
Yeah.
I would have totally forgot. Um, some good stuff right here from the Fixer. I wanted to bring up.
Sure.
If it had have been Logan Paul and Austin Theory, different story. So the two of them down there, I think, would have been way easier for the catch, right?
Yeah, two of them would have been closer to the ring, and yeah, maybe they could have done that.
Hmm. Um, I think we're good here. Do you want to move on?
Sure. Let's talk
Uh,
some wrestling finance and lawsuits here. From post wrestling, a couple of things from post wrestling here. Brandon Thurston's been doing a lot of really good reporting on some of the shareholder lawsuits and other things happening in the business side of pro wrestling, especially with WWE and TKO. Vince McMahon and Nick Khan are sanctioned by the judge in the WWE merger lawsuit that was brought by some shareholders, a class action suit, heightening their burden to prevail at trial. Basically, because of some of the evidence that was destroyed, signal chats, emails, things like that, the judge is now ruling that five damaging facts will be presumptively true. Normally, these claims are not true until the plaintiff proves them true. So the class action lawsuit, followed by the shareholders, they would have to prove these things true. But because some evidence was destroyed, the judge is saying, nope, we're going to assume all this stuff is true unless you can prove otherwise in your defense.
wow.
So this is a big deal. Here are the five things that are now presumed facts in this trial. Ari Emanuel's promise to provide Vince McMahon with a continued role at any post-merger company after a transaction did influence Vince's decision-making with respect to the merger. That is now presumed fact. So
Wow.
I don't know how the WWE and TKO win this at this point.
Yeah.
They are now presuming as a fact the thing that the plaintiffs would normally have to prove, it's now true. Second thing that's now proved is a fact, unless it can be proven unfactual. Emanuel's offer of indemnification and other legal support related to pending federal investigations is now considered true and influenced Vince's decision making with respect to the merger. It is now considered true, unless they can prove otherwise, that Vince decided to pursue a transaction with Endeavor in 2022 before the company initiated any strategic review process. It is now assumed true, unless it can be proven otherwise, that Nick Khan communicated with Emanuel between August and December of 2022 to facilitate a transaction between WWE and Endeavor. And it is now considered true that Vince and Khan worked with the advertising firm Rain to steer the process toward a deal with Endeavor and away from other potential bidders.
Wow.
So very much that the plaintiffs, the class action shareholders here would have to prove at trial is now assumed true, and the defense now has to prove that it's not true.
That's unheard of, right?
I don't know. This is civil law, not criminal law. So I don't know how often in a
Oh.
civil proceeding where it's where it's preponderance of evidence where this kind of thing happens, where a judge finds that there was evidence that should have been available that now is not available because of something that one side or the other did.
This is like back in the day. I remember OJ had a civil case that he lost, even though he.
Yes, O.J. Simpson, he won the criminal trial, found
Yeah,
not guilty, but then he lost the civil trial. Yes.
that's interesting.
For
Well,
wrongful death. So this is civil, not criminal. And so I don't know how often this happens, but it completely flips the burden of proof. Because
Yeah.
now instead of the plaintiffs having to prove all of these things about the defendants, which are TKO and WWE, now it's the defendants having to prove they're innocent. It's like if this were criminal, it'd be if it wasn't innocent until proven guilty, if it were guilty until proven innocent.
It's really interesting because they deleted all the signal messages, right? Isn't that what
Yes.
happened? And at the end of
So
the
that's
day,
why they're assuming it's true. The judge is saying, well, I'm going to have to assume that you deleted these things because they're incriminating.
yeah. Um, I wonder if Signal has access to those, even if they delete them, or do they just go away?
That's a good question. I don't think they do. From what I've heard about Signal, but you never know. Like they used to say, nothing on the internet is ever lost. Everything on the internet is forever, somewhere, right? Anybody could be recording it, duplicating it, copying it, storing it somewhere else.
I mean, you would
storing
think
it
too
again.
logically, not like just logically, right? Why were you deleting all this stuff if it was not incriminating?
Yeah, that's the judge's rationale in this case.
Yeah, that's wild. But I guess it's because it's civil, and I guess because it's civil, it's not criminal. They won't do any time. It's just how much money they're gonna have to pay.
How much money they're going to have to pay out? What kind of settlement? I don't know if there's anything in this particular case that could be referred to criminal for later actual prosecution.
Also, I wonder if this would get Triple H or Khan fired from TKO.
Maybe Nick Khan, because he's named here and he's one of the two people who've been sanctioned.
Yeah.
Paul Levesque has not been sanctioned. He is on the list of people who are being called as witnesses.
Okay. So this isn't
Nick
Triple
Khan,
H's
maybe.
fault. Yeah.
Nick Khan, maybe. Also from Post Wrestling, Brandon Thurston. This is a picture of Ari Emanuel here. Judge rules in favor of reporters' challenges to unseal confidential information in WWE shareholder lawsuit. So, like 1,000 pages of documents that were not destroyed, a judge has ruled should now be unsealed because it's in the public interest to know about these things. They are the defendants had attempted to block information on personally identifiable information, including phone numbers, email addresses, and home addresses. So, like, people were going to be doxxed. They were concerned. Deposition questions regarding reporting by the Wall Street Journal and its sources regarding Vince McMahon's sexual misconduct claims, and native audio files, the Ari Emanuel voicemail. Brandon Thurston, in filing this request himself, waived the rights for so he said, okay, you don't have to dox anybody, but the public has an interest in knowing the deposition questions, reporting the Wall Street Journal and its sources. Basically, the Wall Street Journal had done some reporting that there was some faction forming going behind the scenes on the board of directors. There was some animosity there. They were not acting as a unified board. And so Brandon Thurston wants that revealed, and some native audio files, the Ari Emanuel voicemails here. The judge said yes to parts B and C there. Brandon Thurston, on a podcast he does with Jason Pollock and Thurston, he stated, I argued that it is relevant information, not necessarily because I'm trying to unveil who the Wall Street Journal sources are, but because this is relevant information about perhaps a factional atmosphere on the board and who certain board members suspected were giving information to the press. I even messaged the Wall Street Journal reporter, Joe Palazzolo, before filing to make sure he was comfortable, and he said, yes, go for it. So he's not trying to get a reporter's sources revealed. He just wants the information, the board's own information on itself about what was happening behind the scenes, what were some of the fights going on, some of the disputes, some of the turmoil there, because it speaks to what was happening on the board and the climate. So big wins for people who want to know what's going on with this publicly traded company. Big wins for the shareholders who now are in the driver's seat. Most of their big claims, 5 of their 7 claims, are now assumed to be true when they go to trial. Trial
Huh.
starts in 2 Mondays from now, June 8th. So lots of rest. I don't know how this turns out. My big complaint was TKO is that they started meddling in creative for a few months leading up to WrestleMania.
That's where it's really affected me and you,
That's
Dom.
where it's affected me. Like, I didn't have WWE stock. I didn't have Endeavor stock. I don't have TKO stock. So I don't have a financial stake in this matter.
I just saw Jelly Roll in the main event of WrestleMania and thought, oh God, no.
Can we get
TKO.
the emails, voicemails, and other internal documents around who wanted Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee in the main event?
Um,
That's a travesty.
before we move
That's
on,
worth $1 billion in market cap at least.
before we move on from this topic, uh, I do want to give a shout out. Is this Brian Thurston? Is this article here?
Brandon Thurston,
Brand,
yes.
Brandon Thurston. I really want to give him a shout out because he is causing all sorts of chaos by
Yes.
demanding all these documents get released, and those demands were granted, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
He filed his motion without the aid of a lawyer or any legal team. He's just a guy who did his homework, and the court was like, yeah, we agree with you.
He is quietly influential in the wrestling landscape, isn't he? With all the WrestleNomics stuff that he's able to
Mm-hmm.
provide, he especially getting the court documentation. He does a really good job.
He does good old fashioned reporting. You know,
Yeah.
he looks for information that he can verify. He tells you what it is,
Hmm.
and he draws connections to him. You know, he does a lot of the dirty work of reading through pages and pages of these documents to see, well, what's here.
Hmm.
He does go. Also, his partner on the podcast, John Pollock, not Jason. Sorry about that. But yes, good work from Post Wrestling, especially from Brandon Thurston. Good old fashioned reporting. This is not rumor mill stuff. These
Yeah.
guys did the digging and found the smoking guns.
This isn't dirt. He's not like a dirt sheet guy.
No.
He's definitely he's not a dirt sheet guy. He does his homework. So
Yeah.
good on him.
Now watch. He's going to start covering the trial and start, giving star ratings to the witnesses. Oh, that was a 7-star cross examination. Have you seen anything like it?
Right. Or he's gonna just
Someone would
Dave
be like, no,
Meltzer,
it can't be 7 stars unless it's in court in Tokyo.
or he's just like saying he'll start just making stuff up. Like, oh, I actually heard from the inside there that I think this is happening, and and he's just making stuff up.
Yeah, fantasy booking is a lot of fun, but if you're getting into the business side of things, you want good reporting going on, and Brandon Thurston does the good reporting. So
Right.
thank you, Post Wrestling, Brandon Thurston and John Pollock, for staying on top of this. Let's talk AEW, especially since I'm going to have more questions for you because it's been a big week for AEW and especially for you. From Clutch Points, Tony Khan teases Ronda Rousey's AEW future. She is always welcome here. She had appeared at a big show for her friend, who was it? Mina Shafir.
Mm-hmm.
She had appeared there to support Mina Shafir, and Tony Khan said, Ronda Rousey's a tremendous fighter. She's someone always welcome in AEW. I enjoyed working with Ronda in Ring of Honor. I
Mm-hmm.
loved having her at AEW Revolution. Anytime Ronda wants to come back to AEW, she is always welcome, which is, great news. She's still a good name. And although people in WWE circles may bristle at her,
Yeah.
wrestling fans, MMA, combat sports fans in general are, it seems net favorable towards her. And I mean, Tony Khan likes her. She's a draw. She's a big name.
She's a draw and
right?
a big name for sure.
This past Sunday was Double or Nothing. Wednesday was Dynamite. This is Hikaru Shida's battle scars after a lights out Philly street fight with Chris Statlander. Bloodied, big welt golf ball size something on her forehead there. She's got the ice pack on it. This is from Sin Swandell on Zitter. Stuff happening all around. One big thing that happened at Double or Nothing: Edge and Adam Copeland and Christian Cage won the AEW tag titles, which now has the Hardys, or at least Matt Hardy on Sirius Satellite Sports, saying that Edge and Christian, they should have another match with the Hardys. What say you about any of these rumors here? You watched Double or Nothing. You were live in the crowd for the Philly show this past Wednesday. Dr. John, hit us with it. What's going on with these AEW live events that you have witnessed?
Double or Nothing was fantastic.
Okay.
Blew like the socks off of WrestleMania and was better than the other shows that WWE had. It was the show of the year by far. It was so amazing and it was so simple. There would be a match. The match would end. They'd play a, I don't know, 3-4 minute promo, a video package, roll right into the next match. They'd hit their theme music. They'd come right out to the ring, and then they would wrestle. And they did that for all of the matches. No commercials, no super long entrances. No, it was just like wrestling, little video package, wrestling, little video package to like set you up for like to give you the storyline of the upcoming match. All the wrestling was fantastic.
Match of the night. What do you got from Double or Nothing?
Match of the night could have easily been the opener, FTR versus Christian Cage and Adam Copeland in an I Quit match.
Okay.
I have a special place in my heart for the I Quit match because of NJCW. When I had an I Quit match with Steve Farley, they were doing all the I Quit stuff. That one was amazing. Let's think here. Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe in the first round. So they're doing an Owen Hart Classic tournament. That match was fantastic. Owen Hart. It was Samoa Joe versus Will Ospreay, and Joe is so good. He's still so good, and he's balding now, and he looks like an old grandpa, but he's still like can move in there. It's great. Trying to think of other matches that really stuck out to me. I was going to tell you to watch this one.
Title change, that opener, right?
Yeah, that was a title change.
FTR had the belts, and Adam Copeland and Christian Cage won the belts from them.
MJF versus Darby Allin. MJF retained or won the title from Darby Allin. I would say that's obviously up there because it's a main event. And I really like that match because the right winner won. And I do think that Darby had a good run considering his limitations. They just had him defend every night against certain guys, and he went out and he just killed himself and did the Foley thing, and he did that for a couple weeks, and then he dropped the belt back to MJF, and it was like, honestly, kind of a cool run with the belt. I feel like for especially
it sounded like it. Like not every title run has to be, Roman Reigns for 3 years wrestling once every 2 months.
He's obviously limited as a wrestler. He does all the high risk, high reward stuff. But guess what? At least it's not high risk, low reward. So he ended up making it, getting through it, not injured, and I thought it was excellent. The show start to finish was great. It was in a tennis stadium, so it wasn't in Arthur Ashe. It's right next to Arthur Ashe in New York.
Okay.
So it was in a tennis stadium. So the stadium was really cool. There's 15,000 people. They were rocking, and then rolled right into the Philly show. And I got to see MJF in real life.
Live at the Philly show. Tell us about that.
I got to see MJF shoot a promo, which is always a little intense because I don't know how bad he's going to go after Philly. But he did. He wasn't too bad. I think he said like one little thing. He called it Podunk Town.
On a scale of 1 to Bill Burr, how much did MJF go after Philly?
It was not a Bill Burr situation.
Okay.
I loved the Bill Burr rant when he said, "This one bridge, Haven City." There's 3 bridges, Bill. This one bridge Haven City. I hope you guys never win a Super Bowl. um, but yeah, so that's still great. Um, he didn't go too hard. I think he would have known if he went too hard, like the crowd would have just started throwing stuff at him. Um, so MJF did a great promo, and then Briscoe came out, Mark Briscoe, and then he's like, "You're in Philly, man. Like, are you familiar with Mark Briscoe? He's like got like no teeth. He's one of the Briscoe brothers.
I am familiar with that part. I don't know where he's from. Is he regional to Philadelphia?
He's from Delaware. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, really,
That's
MJF's from
Philly Metro. Wilmington and Newcastle County, which is right at the top of Delaware. That's Philly Metro.
yeah. So he's like, man, this is Philly. This is the streets. You don't look like people around here. You should be scared. And everybody's like, yeah. And then eventually Briscoe, he shot a hilarious promo, just like saying weird stuff because he's like a weird guy. And
Okay.
so that promo was good. The matches were good. I got to see Chris Jericho versus Ricochet. I wanted to tell Ricochet about his memorial award, but I didn't get the opportunity to tell him. I didn't see this match, this Battle Scars with her lights out Philly street fight, because I left at 10 o'clock, and
Oh,
the show usually ends at 10, but they added 1 extra hour because they can't do Collision this week, so they made it till 11. So I said, well, I'm leaving.
okay.
I was with Liz. We have the baby. He gets up at 6 a.m. So I'm like, we got to go home.
Ah.
Mm.
All right, very good. So you missed all of the angst for
Mm-hmm.
the women's lights out Philly street fight. So there you
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if from now on, if there's a heel promo where they start attacking the city in which they're in, if we should give it like a star rating, but like a Bill Burr rating. Like, how many Bill Burrs was this promo here?
Yeah, like Bill Burr against Philly.
I
And
give
like if
it
they're
two
really
and a half Burrs.
that is still very, very listenable to this day.
Yes, right.
It's so funny because he's so angry. He's
Yes,
so legitimately angry. It's not a work, it's a shoot.
yes.
He's at this thing, he's tanking. The crowd's horrible, so he just starts screaming at the crowd.
Wasn't he trying to defend another comedian
Essentially, yeah.
as well at the beginning, if I remember correctly? Like, he
Mm,
was just annoyed at how the crowd was treating a lot of the performers.
yeah. People weren't being nice to the performers, but they like built, yeah, it's a whole thing. It's oddball comedy tour, but they built it like a rock tour, like a music tour. So I think
Mhm.
that's really what hurt them. But nonetheless, a lot of good stuff came out of it.
Very
Um,
good. Very good.
mhm.
What do you say about the Hardys and now the champs, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage? Do you want to see one more Hardys versus Adam Copeland and Christian Cage match? I wonder how that would happen since they are in different companies.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do that. They would. Are they in TNA too? Oh yeah, TNA and AEW are not on good terms.
No,
And
like
also the
TNA and
Hardys,
WWE could have done it.
yeah, and also the Hardys are not. The Hardys are not in good terms with AEW. I think Matt Hardy's always trashing AEW.
Then it looks like this is just a pipe dream, especially since Matt Hardy was saying, I would love to get one more match with them before it's all said and done, and maybe we'll send them home just like we did the Dudleys.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, the Dudleys hadn't wrestled in a long time, but
They were done.
Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are active wrestlers. They're still wrestling. I don't know. You should be saying like, "Oh yeah, they should retire, and we should be the ones to send them packing." I
Yeah.
think if yeah, they had a great history with each other, but if Adam Copeland and Christian Cage want to wind down their careers, I think they're fine doing it in AEW and having a send off there with somebody in AEW. I don't think they have to try and turn their last match into a nostalgia act.
Yeah.
So, we mentioned Clash in Italy this weekend, and it's
Uh-oh.
going to be a big card on Sunday. Later tonight, the thing I am most excited about tonight is a mask versus mask match that WWE's YouTube channel will be streaming live at, I think, 10 p.m. Eastern
Mm-hmm.
or 11 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. Mask versus mask. Ludwig Kaiser is being cleared. Seems at WWE, he's not only not being prevented from traveling between the U.S. and Mexico, despite him being a person of interest in an altercation in Orlando about a month or so ago. He seems to be receiving no pushback or real ill will from the WWE creative about this, which I think is good. I think part of it is basically to fill in people for what happened here. There is footage of what happened. Basically, another resident commented on Kaiser and a female companion being intimate inside an elevator. Police documents later claim the confrontation escalated physically outside the elevator, leading to allegations that Kaiser punched and threatened the man. There is footage of what happened. That's how they were able to identify Ludwig Kaiser, real name Marcel Barthel. There were some reports that the person who got into the altercation with Kaiser made some sort of ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, comment towards, obviously, Kaiser is not U.S. born and his girlfriend is also not U.S. born. Interesting that the usage of the ICE thing, they managed to turn him babyface to many, many people, according to Dave Meltzer had that comment there. Here is an interesting wrinkle that may be a really smart move on Kaiser's part that saved him here. He was in Mexico when he learned that there was an arrest warrant out for him. He traveled back to the U.S. and turned himself in, which likely made, which I'm betting went a long way in his hearing, that they said, clearly this guy's not a flight risk. He was out of the country, heard about this, and came back to the U.S. to turn himself in. So because of that, I think he proved himself to be not a flight risk. So he's being allowed to travel back and forth between the U.S. and Mexico. He's supposed to be at the show tonight, which I hope to watch. What say you about mask versus mask, and or about this now perhaps criminal incident involving El Grande Americano, a.k.a. Ludwig Kaiser, a.k.a. Marcel Barthel?
What a wild story. Fist
Right?
fight in an elevator while being intimate, whatever that means.
Right?
um, yeah, what a wild, wild thing to be a part of. I'd be interested to see the tape because who knows what happened. But I hope he is okay. He's a valuable asset, and he appears also to be way over in Mexico as this is not from me. This is my brother-in-law actually gave me the heads up here. He told me that they love Kaiser. They love him there because he could
Yes.
speak Spanish and
Yes.
he's bilingual, so he knows how to talk to them, and he's just way over with them. And in the little opportunities we've seen him, you have liked when you watch him wrestle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This guy takes advantage of everything that he's given and he turns it to gold. The El Grande Americano thing started as Chad Gable, from what I've heard, trying to make fun of luchadors.
Yeah.
Chad Gable gets hurt. They need somebody to fill in as a Grande Americano until he comes back. They give the ball to Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser crushes it.
Mm-hmm.
They start sending him to Mexico. He learns not only Spanish, but the Mexican dialect of Spanish.
Mm.
He immerses himself in their culture. He does not treat it as, oh, this character is supposed to make fun of luchadors. Like, he becomes luchador culture. The crowds down there appreciate him so much for this.
Mm.
I hope whatever happens tonight, mask versus mask. I hope Chad Gable loses the mask, and that puts an end to his version of El Grande Americano that was making fun of luchadors. And so Chad Gable goes back to WWE and does Chad Gable stuff. And if Marcel Barthal is content with being a star doing most of his work in Mexico, then I hope this lasts as long as he can possibly make it last.
It's a good fit, right? I mean, it seems like he's been on the bench and he can work. So I like AAA. I like the idea that they have this other company that really is a lot different than what they currently have. Because NXT just feels like development. It kind of
Yes.
all feels like the same, but AAA feels different.
Yep. Yeah, AAA is different. It's a different culture. It's a different wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
And what a talented guy. I mean, he obviously speaks German fluently. He speaks English fluently. He was Gunther's mouthpiece while Gunther was learning really English and how to cut a promo.
Mm-hmm.
Now he just learns the Mexican dialect of Spanish. He's fluent in it like that. I mean, this is a bright guy. And he seems to be a fantastic performer. And he struck gold just filling in with somebody else, they trying to do a mockery character. And it's so different now. I hope El Grande Americano lasts as long as he can make it last. I think it's fantastic. And the last thing up, 30 years ago this past Wednesday, May 27th, who's that guy? It's Scott Hall invades WCW Monday Nitro. This was the start of the invasion that would become the NWO and change professional wrestling forever. Happy 30th anniversary to Scott Hall's invasion of Nitro.
Wow. Play it.
30 years ago.
Play it.
How about that?
Can you play it?
It's from the WWE's channel here. So if I play it, it won't be sound either because of the way I share the screen. But I mean, a few still frames from here. He jumps into the ring here. Hey, yo, he interrupts a match. He's given the "you know why I'm here." He's got the toothpick in the mouth, another one behind the ear.
Mm-hmm.
He's set to go. He's doing the hey yos. He's doing the talking stuff. I go where I want to go. This is Scott Hall. This is the bad guy. This is Learn to Love when he was Razor Ramon. This is the character that WCW fans would learn to love when he was Scott Hall.
There you go.
Good stuff. That's what I got. It's pathologically frugal. It's unseasonably warm. John, what is it?
Dom, it's cheap heat.
Yes, it is.
All right. And now we're moving on down. And we got a comment here. And this is the Italian goodbye. We're still doing the segments. We do not need them to tell us to do the segments. We know what the segments are, right? We don't need the slides. We don't need no stinking slides. Well, either both El Grande Americanos are going to stay masked or they'll both end up unmasked.
Really?
Wow.
I think if Ludwig Kaiser wants to keep doing this gimmick, I think it's great to keep him under the mask. That's a luchador tradition, like being under the mask.
Dom, there's some chats here that came across from the Fixer earlier.
Very good. Let's have them.
I'm going to show it in stream. Can you read them now?
Yes, several. We touched on a lot of these already from Clash and Champion. Let's see. Logan Paul will forever be a heel. He's a heel as a pro wrestler, but he's a baby face in real life. Keeps people coming back. Let's see what it says here. The latest chat that came in says if it keeps people coming back. Let's see if I can bring it up in a separate panel here. They're both very good. Yes, they are both very good wrestlers. But I think the gimmick has probably run its course. Chad Gable, trying to mock the luchador style, that's run its course. Let him go back to the U.S. and beat Chad Gable. Now the question will be, if Ludwig Kaiser stays as El Grande Americano under the luchador mask in AAA, what can they have him do that is not tied to the OG El Grande Americano? Because that's been the feud so far. So if AAA doesn't have anything that they think they can do with El Grande Americano, then yeah, maybe both of them become unmasked and they just go back to WWE main roster full time. But if AAA has something that they have in mind for El Grande Americano, then I think it's great if Ludwig Kaiser keeps just crushing it, knocking it out of the park as El Grande Americano down there in Mexico. And maybe occasionally coming up to SmackDown or Raw for a cameo there, like kind of reversing how a lot of WWE wrestlers do it, where they're mostly on SmackDown or Raw, and then they make the occasional cameo in AAA. If he likes traveling back and forth from Mexico City to Florida, and they have stuff for him to do there, and he's taken care of with the travel expenses, the living expenses, the hotel, and he's compensated well as a pro wrestler, then good for him. Chad El Grande is a face in WWE, but a heel in AAA. That is a problem. Yes. For a while, they were trying to make him a heel in WWE as well. That, he was using dirty tactics. He was loading the mask with that metal plate for the flying headbutt, using shortcuts and cheating on the outside. So yes, El Grande Americano. I'm trying to look at it from the AAA standpoint and from what they could possibly do that's very good with it here going forward if he stays in Mexico. I like just about everything that Ludwig Kaiser's done. When he was a lackey for Imperium, he was good. He was good at that. He was good at putting guys over and getting heat. When he was the mouthpiece, he was excellent at talking, at knowing the persona, and at really helping get Gunther over in those early days. When they let him have a singles run, he was a good challenger for the Intercontinental belt, although he never won it, I don't think. And then when they had him fill in for Chad Gable as El Grande Americano, he took that character into something that I don't think anybody expected. And so it's a good problem to have right now, is that how good Ludwig Kaiser is at being El Grande Americano. Yes, and as the chat came through here, yes, Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande Americano also used the plate at some point because he was supposed to be the heel in WWE as well. That was the real weird thing, is that Ludwig Kaiser, he's supposed to be the heel in the WWE. He goes to Mexico and he's beloved down there. So I think at some point they've got to see, well, where's the best place for each of these guys to be going forward? What has the most potential? What can they do? And I think, considering how much trouble WWE Creative has had with doing something with Ludwig Kaiser, I would not be surprised if he is campaigning behind the scenes to say, look, I'll have a run in Mexico as El Grande Americano for as long as it keeps working. Like, the guy wants to wrestle. The guy wants to work. He's good at it. He clearly put the time and the effort into it. Let him do it. Meanwhile, Chad Gable's healthy now. we've already got the joke. Maybe the joke's over and he goes back to being Chad Gable. And the Creed brothers go back to being the Creed brothers, especially since there is a need for some men's tag team division as they revamp it. So hopefully, if Chad Gable gets unmasked tonight, they also unmask the Creed brothers, who they are calling in Mexico the Credo brothers. They kind of made a mess of it by twisting the story. They kind of made a mess of it because Ludwig Kaiser really threw himself into the part, and the crowd in Mexico loved it.
They didn't expect that to happen, right?
No,
it's a happy accident.
He made himself a babyface because he took it so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He took seriously what it meant to be a luchador and what it meant to perform for the Mexican wrestling fans and what wrestling means to their culture down there. He took that seriously, and people appreciate it. It's the LA Knight story. They were trying to make him this, goofy heel, this fast-talking but ultimately screw-up guy in the ring heel. And the crowd wasn't having any of it because he was one of the few entertaining people on the doggone show.
Yeah.
Sometimes a guy takes his part seriously as a professional should, and it forces creative's hand because the crowd responds to it. WWE Creatives is, let's be honest, is creatively bankrupt. Too much fighting champions replacing storylines. Yeah, so isn't it lucky for them that this falls into their lap?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we have a new baby face for our AAA affiliate, for our AAA partnership there. I think it's great stuff. It's almost time for AAA. We got another 15 minutes. Anybody got anything they want to say that maybe we missed from Cheap Heat, or that they did that maybe we missed from Smackdown, or that they wanted to chime in on? Lay it on us. What's up?
I was wondering what would happen if we watched AAA together, like a watch along, because it's on YouTube, and just watched it. If they would kick us right off, or what would happen?
I don't know. Do you want to end the recap stream here and just kick up another one and watch it? I think it's on at 10 o'clock Eastern our time.
It might be fun just to try it. Even if we just do 10, 15 minutes into it, and if they don't knock me out, then I would say that might be an option for us.
Sure. And do you want to try sharing your screen as we do the watch along?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's get the leftovers together and actually say the goodbye here.
Fixer, we'll be back in 10 minutes if you want to hang with us. No, Fixer, thanks for all your comments tonight. It's really great. We had some earlier. Someone said, poor Logan Paul.
Yes.
And Dom said, oh, I agree. Poor Logan Paul.
Yes.
And I said, it couldn't have happened to a better person.
Paul, we admire Logan Paul. Everybody, Paul, we admire Logan Paul.
I would have liked to do this. This just wasn't in the cards for us, Fixer, to do the recap for Clash in Italy.
Plus, we hadn't done a SmackDown in a while. We hadn't done a SmackDown in a while, so it gets tough to ignore the hard work, the grind of the weekly episodic television show, and just jump in for the premium live events. Because the meat and potatoes is the weekly episodic shows that they broadcast. There you go, Paul. Can we fire Logan Paul? Yes, that from what I hear, that's the parody version that Joe Henry is singing. But the real song is "We Admire Logan Paul." Or did I flip those? Was it "Can We Fire Logan Paul?" and then Logan Paul used AI techniques to switch the lyrics to "We Admire Logan Paul." Har har har, wink wink.
We'll go AAA.
Clash in Italy could be fun, but yeah, I'll put a bow on this one if you want, and if you want to just see what happens with us doing a watch along.
Let's do this. Let's put a bow on this one, Dom. Thanks so much. Much appreciated. Won't do the full show, I think, but I'll at least hang in there for a little bit.
Okay. Thank you, Garrett. Liked. Thank you, the Fixer.
Thank you, Fixer. Have a great rest of your evening.